More than a third of businesses operating right now will be dead within the next 10 years. That's according to the outgoing CEO of Cisco, John Chambers.
He says companies need to get hip with tech or they won't survive. I spoke earlier with business analyst Jill Schlesinger about Chambers' prediction.
I think it's realistic. I mean, we know that transformation occurs all the time. And if we probably go back 10 years ago, you could have made the exact same prediction and it would turn out to be true. We know that in every industry, technology has transformed it and will continue to do so. So I don't even think it's a warning. To me, it's like, hey, I'm giving you some advice before I retire next month. Don't sit back because, you don't want to be Kodak in the age of digital photography.
Well, that's what he's talking about. He's saying that the only businesses likely to survive are those that turn their companies into digital techie visions of themselves. Good news for us here at CBSN, but does it work for everybody?
Well, it works in most cases. I think a great example of this is in financial services, because what we've seen is the advent of something called robo-advisors, right? So you go onto a platform, Betterment, Wealthfront, Rebalance IRA, you plug in some information, you answer some questions, and it will spit out an asset allocation model for you so you can just go about and manage your own IRA or 401k account. Sounds great, right? Does that mean that the brokerage industry is dead or the advice-giving business is dead? No. They can actually exist and coexist alongside one another. One can be for maybe someone starting out and groom them, but if you need personalized one-on-one advice, you've got a complicated financial life, you're still going to want a human touch. So it doesn't mean that those industries are dead, but it does mean that they have to accommodate new people coming in and bring them into their industries in a way that they want to be reached.
Okay, so how about like Uber or Airbnb? How does that affect the taxi companies or the hotels?
Well, these are definitely disruptive technologies, whereas I don't necessarily think that robo-advisors are disruptive. I think they are actually helping the big advisors get better. But I think that a company like Uber is disruptive in that the taxi industry in every city now has to wake up and say, I've got competition, right? They didn't really have competition previously. That's a good thing. Are they going to get better? Are they going to get off their phones while they're driving me down West End Avenue? I hope so. When you look at Airbnb, it doesn't mean the hotel industry is dead, but it does mean it's going to have to adapt and that there are more choices. I think the most important thing that Chambers is stressing is you sit back and you wait for change to come, it will eat you alive. You don't do that. You've got to be proactive. You've got to look at different ways to adapt your industry. And I think it's great advice. And I think that every CEO of all the companies in every industry is looking around and saying, I know I have to do that. I think the big issue for most companies is I don't know how to do it.
All right, so that'll probably be the biggest obstacle going forward then for them.
Absolutely. And many of these companies don't know how, and they'll figure it out, or, by the way, they might go away.
All right, Jill Schlesinger, thanks so much.
Great to be here.